Hello! Today, we invite you to learn about the origins of birthdays, those special dates for our loved ones and ourselves. Our adventure of learning begins. This video is dedicated to Deiris, mother, daughter, wife, and above all, a better person. Happy birthday, Mom!
A birthday is the day we celebrate a person's birth. It can also be the day a school or club started. We would call that an anniversary. A birthday is the day we celebrate a person's birth. It can also be the day a school or club started. We would call that an anniversary. At the party come family, friends we know, and other friends. At the party, we give gifts to the person who is celebrating their birthday. Birthday parties are very popular, especially for children. But what is its origin? The things we do on birthdays today come from a long, long time ago, before people believed in magic and gods. When someone had a birthday, the greetings, gifts, and celebrations, with lit candles, were held to protect that person from demons. It was also to ensure their safety throughout the coming year. Until a long time ago, early Christians, those who followed Jesus, didn't want to celebrate birthdays. They thought it was a custom for people who didn't believe in their religion. The custom of putting candles around the cake comes from ancient times, many years ago. The candle circle was a very special part of a ceremony. It was done to protect the person from evil spirits for an entire year. Amazing, right? For this reason, for many years, the Catholic Church thought that celebrating birthdays was something for people who were not Christians. It wasn't until much later that people began to celebrate Christmas as Jesus' birthday, on December 25th in some places, and January 7th in others. Over time, Christians began to celebrate their birthdays, as if joining in Jesus' celebration. Something of this remains in an old German tradition. They would put as many candles on the cake as the person's birthday, plus a large candle that was the light of life, or the light of Christ. As Christianity grew stronger, the custom of celebrating birthdays stopped completely. Jesus' early followers believed that children were born with their souls already corrupted because of something Adam, the first man according to the Bible, did. They thought the world was a difficult and evil place, and that there was no reason to celebrate anyone's birthday. Now, some Christian groups, such as Jehovah's Witnesses, still don't celebrate birthdays. They consider it something old-fashioned and inconsistent with their beliefs. For early Christians, the idea of a birthday party was very strange. The special day of a saint, a very good person for Christians, is not the day he was born, but the day he died. There was another reason why early church leaders didn't want birthdays celebrated. They thought these festivals came from the Egyptians and Greeks and were remnants of ancient customs that weren't Christian. The Hebrews, another ancient people, also thought that celebrating birthdays was like worshiping things other than God. They believed what they saw at other people's birthday parties confirmed this. In the year 245 AD, after Jesus' birth, some Christian historians wanted to know the exact day of Jesus' birth. The Catholic Church declared that searching for that date was wrong, and that celebrating Jesus' birth as if he were the king of Egypt would be a sin. The Greeks believed that every person had a guardian spirit, like an invisible friend who was there on the day they were born and watched over them throughout their lives. This spirit was connected to the god whose birthday was the same day as the person. The Romans, another ancient people, also believed this. This idea has spread to other beliefs and is similar to the idea of the guardian angel, the fairy godmother, and the patron saint, a special saint who looks after someone or something. The custom of baking cakes or biscuits with lit candles began with the Greeks. They placed on the altars of the temple of a goddess called Artemis round cakes like the moon, made with honey, which had lit candles. People believe that birthday candles have a special magic to make wishes come true. Lit candles and fires used in ceremonies have had a magical significance since people began making altars to their gods. So birthday candles honor the birthday person and bring them good luck. Greetings and birthday wishes are very important on this holiday. Before, the idea of congratulating came from magic. Birthday greetings have power for good or bad because on this day the person is closest to the spirit world. How is it celebrated in Western countries? Birthday parties are usually held at the birthday person's home or at another location such as a party hall. At the party, decorations are put up, which almost always include balloons. Food and drinks are served to guests. There are almost always games and fun things to make the party even better. The party might include clowns, magicians, inflatable games or trampolines, and piñatas. At children's parties in Mexico and other Central American countries, a piñata is sometimes set up. It's made of cardboard or stiff paper, decorated with a star or movie or cartoon characters. It's filled with toys or candy. It's hung from a string, and the children, using a stick, take turns trying to break it and knock out the goodies. At adult birthday parties, sometimes instead of a piñata, a group of mariachis, Mexican musicians, comes. At adult birthday parties, they sometimes drink alcoholic beverages, tell jokes, and make jokes, sometimes a bit heavy. They also reminisce about happy times they've had together. A common custom is to give the birthday person a large cake decorated with lit candles while everyone sings a congratulatory song. The number of candles is supposed to be equal to the person's birthday. However, number-shaped candles or surprise candles that relight after being blown out are also used. The birthday person often makes a wish, in some countries 3, silently, and then blows out the candles. If they blow them all out at once, it is said that their wishes will come true. According to another belief, if you tell your wishes, they will not come true. Traditions by country, in Spanish-speaking countries. In Mexico, after blowing out the candles and removing them from the cake, the birthday person is sometimes asked to put their face close to the cake for a bite. Guests shout, "Bite! Bite!" Then, those nearby push their face so that the cake gets all over them. Birthdays in Colombia are very joyful and family-oriented times. They love parties. Here I'll tell you about some of their customs. The party. Like in many other places, people in Colombia celebrate birthdays with parties. They gather family, friends, and neighbors to have a fun time. The cake and candles. A birthday cake with candles is a must. The birthday person blows out the candles while everyone sings Happy Birthday in Spanish. Sometimes they add a part that says, "May you continue to have many happy returns of the year until the year 3000. Gifts. It is customary to give gifts to the person celebrating their birthday. The piñata. At children's parties, the piñata is almost obligatory. It's a clay pot filled with candy, usually hung from the ceiling so that some of the attendees, blindfolded, can try to break it with a stick or a baton. The bite. After singing and before cutting the cake, guests sometimes encourage the birthday child to take a big bite out of the cake. And sometimes they push their face a little bit so they get frosting all over it. The asado. For adults, it's very common to celebrate with a delicious asado, grilled meat, with family and friends. Food is a very important part of the celebration. Music and dance. Music and dance are essential to Colombian festivals. Depending on the region, you may hear traditional music like vallenato or more modern music. They love to dance and have fun. Jokes. Sometimes adult friends also make jokes on birthdays, but always in a good way. Special celebrations. As in other countries, birthdays such as a girl's first birthday and a girl's 15th birthday, Quinceañeras, are very important and grand celebrations. In Spain and Argentina, it's customary to pull a person's ears once for each birthday they turn. In other countries, like the United States, they sometimes receive small taps or pinches for the same number of years. In the Dominican Republic, it's not frowned upon and even brings good luck to throw water on the birthday person. In Chile, the birthday person is given a manteo or a malteo. 4 people grab the person by the arms and legs and lift them up as many times as the number of years they turn. In Paraguay, after singing Happy Birthday, they sometimes pat the birthday person on the back. This is called the drumstick race. Another thing friends do is buy eggs and flour and, without them realizing it, pour it on their head, as if they were baking a cake. Sometimes they use bad eggs. It's also customary for the birthday person to give bags with small toys and candies, sorpresitas, and balloons with more surprises, in addition to cake, chocolate milk, sandwiches, empanadas, cookies, candy, soda, or juice. Adults sometimes drink beer, wine, and other beverages. In Paraguay, the birthday person doesn't open presents until the party is over. Among young people in Peru, it is common to throw flour and break eggs on the head of the person celebrating their birthday. In Venezuela, it's very common to sing "Ay, que noche tan preciosa," "Oh, what a beautiful night," and then sing "Happy Birthday." When they're done, everyone hugs the person after they blow out the candles. When the birthday person is in school, guests sometimes give them la sala, a kind of paliza, which are gentle slaps on the back and arms. although this isn't often done anymore. Adults sometimes celebrate by making a barbecue or a large soup called sancocho, a kind of soup, with alcoholic drinks like beer, rum, or wine. Sometimes they have cake, and sometimes they don't. If there is cake, it's served at the end with other sweets like gelatin or flan. The birthday person typically receives and sometimes gives gifts from guests, family, and close friends. In a region of Spain called Leon, it's traditional to put a necklace of candy on the person. In recent years, it's become popular to throw surprise birthday parties for adults. Friends and family pretend they forgot the birthday, but then show up at the person's house or somewhere else to surprise them and celebrate. In other countries, it has also been celebrated for millennia. Ancient Persia. Many years ago, in Persia, an ancient country, the most celebrated day was the birthday. On that day, the table had more food than usual. The rich ate whole cows, horses, camels, or donkeys, while the poor ate smaller animals. Ancient Rome. The Romans celebrated birthdays with very happy parties and gave many gifts. China. Chinese birthday traditions involve the pursuit of a long life and wordplay. For example, the word for a type of wine sounds similar to the word for long, of time, so wine is a common gift. They also eat long noodles, which signify a long life. Although it's now common to have birthday cakes like those in the West. Japan. In Japan, birthday celebrations began after World War II, influenced by other countries. Children's parties are the most important, with cake, candles, and songs. Adults sometimes celebrate only with their partners. South Korea. A baby's first birthday is very important. Furthermore, in South Korea, when a baby is born, they are considered 1 year old. This is because January 1st is considered the birthday of all Koreans. North Korea. In North Korea, people don't celebrate birthdays on July 8th and December 17th because those were the days when 2 important leaders died. More than 100,000 people born on those dates celebrate their birthdays on another day to avoid those sad days. The birthday of a leader named Kim Il-sung is the country's most important holiday, and the birthday of another leader, Kim Jong-il, is also widely celebrated. There are birthdays that are more special than others. When a significant number of years is reached, such as the first year, or a number that ends in 0, such as 10, 20, 50, or 100. Sometimes 25, 33, or 35 years are also special. When you stop being a child and become an adult, the age varies by country, sometimes at 18, sometimes earlier or later. This means you can do adult things, like drinking alcohol, voting, or joining the military. Dates that were once harvest festivals, such as when day and night are of equal length, became the birthdays of religious figures such as Jesus and Buddha. The birthdays of important people like Martin Luther King or Simon Bolivar sometimes become holidays. In Latin America, when a girl turns 15, she throws a big party called a quinceañera. In Canada and the United States, when a girl turns 16, they sometimes throw a party called a Sweet 16. A themed birthday party is when the entire party revolves around one main theme. Themed birthdays are very popular with children. Everything revolves around that theme: the decorations, the costumes, and the games. The theme is chosen by the birthday person. Themed parties have become popular thanks to famous people who host them for their children. The most popular themes are based on famous movies or books, especially for children. A popular party is a Harry Potter theme, featuring the colors and drawings of magic houses, characters, and wands. Other themes include princesses, superheroes like Spider-Man or Superman, Barbie, or Disney characters. Teenagers also throw themed parties like a TikTok theme, featuring the social media logo and famous dances. At themed parties, it's not just the decorations that are important. Sometimes there are games like treasure hunts or riddles related to the theme. Guests can also dress up in costumes or wear accessories like glasses or hats to make the party more themed. Digital birthday invitations are also widely used for these themed parties. They can be beautifully designed and quickly sent via WhatsApp. Parents can choose invitations with drawings of dinosaurs, princesses, or superheroes, making the party even more special from the moment guests are invited. Birthday decorations vary greatly depending on the theme, location, and customs of each country. For children's birthdays, decorations often feature cartoons, bright colors, and personalized items like piñatas and banners. Adult parties sometimes have simpler decorations or themes like beach parties or vintage parties. In Latin American countries, they sometimes use traditional elements in their decorations, such as flowers, colorful confetti, or bright colors. Balloons, garlands, and table decorations are staples in many decorations. Zodiac signs, like Aries, Taurus, Pisces, etc., sometimes depend on the day you were born, or even the time. The sun sign depends on the day of birth. The one that depends on the time of day is called the ascendant sign. In some countries, it is customary to associate a beautiful stone, such as an emerald or sapphire, with the month in which the person was born. It's a wonderful holiday celebrated in almost every country in the world. And once again, happy birthday, Mom. Happy birthday, Darius.
Do you like it? Give it a like and subscribe. It helps us create more content.